account challenge. Today was a decent day. I'm really gonna like this video because I have a lot of examples to show you guys. We took 3 trades today. I want to show you a little bit of risk management. I want to show you what I face, what I see, and why I swing, why I take profits on my small account. So we'll talk all about that within these 3 examples. Let's start off with Amazon, my only losing trade for today. So let's go to Amazon. So as I usually do, let's go to the daily chart. Let's just see what's going on here. So as you already know, Amazon lost earnings up here, and then because of all the China trade war talk, and the Fed's not cutting the rate more than 0.5% or points, we basically got Amazon to an all-time low here, like the worst in last 13 years when it comes to this losing streak. We got it down all the way to 1752. Now, of course, you know I'm a firm believer of buying dips and buying, extreme critical points where a stock is at a very cheap level or cheap value due to political news or earnings or something of that sort. So I'm already interested in leaps around this area. But right now I'm watching Amazon, and I'm watching as it basically climbs its way back and fills these gaps, because there's a couple gaps along the way that needs to be filled, and there's also a gap at 1950 that I need Amazon to fill as well. But after seeing the daily chart here, basically from this point when I seen this strong push up to the 1830 level from yesterday, I was basically confident that Amazon would continue pushing up to the 1850, breaking 1850 upwards back to the 1900 level probably by sometime next week. That didn't happen. We got a huge pullback because of Trump basically saying there's no trade deal now, we'll have to wait. China's not ready to meet our terms or meet his terms in that case. So we have to see in September as trade talks continue then. I honestly think Trump is just waiting for a response from the Federal Reserve to decide to hit us with another interest rate cut before he actually thinks about simplifying the deal with China and negotiating to a halfway point. Now let's see exactly what happened on Amazon. Where did I go wrong? As you already know, price action is king for me. So as you can see these little trend lines here, I basically mark short-term support and resistance between these certain levels. So I know whether the stock is breaking down. For example, here the stock comes down, struggles with this level as you see this big pin candlestick here, goes back up closer to the Vwap, then breaks down below this level and continues to drop. So as you can see, these little price action levels, they help me basically know the direction of the stock, at the same time short-term breakouts. So here we get down to this bottom level. I still see the stocks sinking. I'm paying close attention to my SPY. I'm paying close attention to the Dow, and I realize that the market is basically tanking, or it's taking a hit basically from that news. So basically my job here was to wait for it to come all the way down to 1805, which if we go back to the daily chart is our strong psychological level here. So now I'm betting that it's not gonna break below 1805. So what I did was when it touched 1805, I looked for my first candlestick pattern here, and I basically had this bullish pin, almost a doji basically, but this was more of a bullish pin, basically showing sellers trying to bring the price down below this 1805 level but being brought back up. When the next one I saw this bearish candle here slightly break below the level, I basically took a chance and I got in long. So I basically made a bet that off these 2 candles here, The price was about to go back to the upside. And what happened actually was I ended up hitting my mental stop loss, and I stopped myself out to play because once I seen these two candlesticks hit this top little level here, and then we got that strong push back down to the downside, seeing this engulfing candle here made me feel like the sellers were coming in strong. So I basically stopped out. I stopped out the play at $177 loss, and I called it quits. But if you actually look to see what happened here, Amazon actually continued to go up, right? So if I literally just waited around for another 10 minutes maybe, I would have seen that this level was still kind of holding strong, and then price would have went back up to the Vwap, and I wouldn't have had to take that loss. But at the same time, I don't really mind losses like that because I would have never known the price would have went back up in this direction. And if I held that play and price continued to go down, then I could have took a far larger loss than $177, right? You always got to keep that in mind, to keep your losses as short as possible. It doesn't really matter. There's always more opportunities. If it doesn't go your way or go according to plan, then just cut it and re-enter at that point. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So in my next play, I had Netflix, which I didn't take the profit on. I actually swung Netflix over the weekend. I like Netflix around this area, and I'll explain why. So let's quickly go to Netflix. I'm going to go to the day chart. So on Netflix, that 305 level is king for me, right? When they lost earnings and they basically came down 14% all the way down here, it basically reversed off of that 305 level. And remember, we profited off of these 3 days. So these 3 days here, that was a previous profit. As I said, history repeats itself. So if you did it once, do it again. And that's the way that I saw it. So we went all the way. We tested the 335 level. It couldn't break, came back down because of all this extra bad news. And then we ended up getting a gap down. But look at this. What is this? A Dawn Star, I believe. Look at this Dawn Star play where we have the gap down. We basically have that Dawn Star pattern with that little bullish hammer, basically signifying that the downtrend is ending and we're going back into an uptrend. And then the next day, look exactly what we had. We had a strong push to the upside, back above 305. Now today, we had a pullback back to 305. So what I did was, when we touched 305, I put my back against the wall, as I always say. I always put my back against support and resistance, and I basically got in on this candle here. So I seen the reversal, bounce, big candle, waited for a pullback. I always wait for the pullback. I got in here, and look at what happened. I basically get a little mini bull flag action, a little triangular action going on here, which was a very strong, high probability play. As soon as I broke out that triangle, look at this, all price action, perfection. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. So we broke this bull flag triangular play here, and then we started going back up to the upside. I held, and then it kind of consolidated as the day ended. So what I'm hoping is, that upwards momentum continues on Monday, and some of the bad news kind of dies down a little bit, because now Trump has already announced that there's no deal at this point. And let's see, the market is still recovering. The market is still trying to go into some kind of consolidation where it can re-understand and restabilize itself. So that's what I'm hoping for right now, that this then starts to rally, because I really think this 305 level is strong. I really think this is going to hold strong. So I basically bought calls 2 weeks out, as you can see, expiring August 23rd, 312.5 calls. So I'm basically betting that within 2 weeks, Netflix would be above here, which I highly think it is. I highly think it definitely is. If it reaches above 312, I'm gonna size up into the play and get more. I'm gonna add on. I'm gonna add on and just ride this play all the way back to the top. Now our last play for the day was the SPY. I kind of seen about $300 in profit. I seen it start to pull back. I'll show you exactly why. I actually pulled this profit a little bit too early, but like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially with a small account. Every dime we can get works. Eventually, when the account gets up to $10,000, then I could risk more. But right now, I'm trying to just stay within my rules, my risk management rules, and just manage each and every play. So same thing. I basically seen the SPY hit this level right here. As you can see, one bounce, two bounce, didn't break, and then I started to see the weakness. As you can see the volume here, I started seeing buyers coming in, more buying power, more buying power. So I basically got in on the pullback on this little red doji looking candle, weak candle here, rode the trend all the way up. I was up about 3 and change, and then I seen this weakness here in buyers, and then I seen the price basically flush all the way back down below the Vwap. I took my profit here because not only did I see incredibly strong volume, lots of selling pressure, lots of selling volume here, I seen myself also break back down below the middle Vwap. So I took my profit here, but as you can see, as I took my profit, price continued to rally, and if I stayed in, I probably would have been able to solidify a good $600, $700, $800 on this play. But like I said, I'm never mad at taking profits. You can never really be mad at taking profits. Follow your rules, because literally with this kind of selling pressure, we could have possibly see this return all the way back down to this level, and I would have possibly gave up all my profits and be stuck in a consolidated play. Who would have known, right? So it's always, to me, it's always better to be safe than sorry. It's always better to be green than red. So those are my 3 plays for the day. Currently up $118 for the day. A small win. Let's see what happens on Monday. Hopefully we can continue riding this Netflix play, and let's take it from there. Thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through DM, through Instagram, YouTube comments, whatever. Reach out to me. I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.